Welcome back to my end of year video series. Today I'm going to be tier ranking all 38 mystery thriller books I read in 2025. If you just caught my most recent video in the series, I just tier ranked all of the horror books that I read this year. Today's video, we're talking mystery thriller, my bread and butter. This is a lot more books than I tier ranked in that video, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker on the books so we're not sitting here all day. I'm going to use the same tiers that I used in that video too, so this should look familiar and we can jump on in. I feel like there's only maybe one or two one-star books in this whole list, and the very first book we have is one of the one-star books. Cross my heart, I would not recommend. I don't even fully remember that book. I know it had something to do with this woman who's had a heart transplant and then like becoming obsessed with the person who donated the heart, or his wife donated the heart, and then she becomes obsessed with him. The concept started good, and then I just didn't like anything about the way it was written. It felt very Scooby-Doo-esque to me at the end in a bad way. Not one I would really recommend picking up. The Crash by Freida McFadden. I think there's two Freida McFaddens here. I have complicated feelings about Freida McFadden. You know this. I do have a reading vlog, Reading the Crash. I gave it a 3-star. And I feel like a 3-star belongs in It Delivered. I like survival stories, and that was a survival story. And so while it's not well written, it's a popcorn book. I know what I'm going into with a Freida McFadden book now, and based off of that scale for how I expect her books to go, this one was fine. Little Mysteries is a collection of short stories from Sarah Gran, and I can't remember anything about it. So I'm gonna have to say not for me because it didn't really leave an impression. I looked back at my tracker and I gave it a 3-star at the time, but it is like gone from my memory. They're interconnected short stories, and I think there was like an interactive element to them in some way. But I also read this while I was traveling to and back from Japan, and so my mind was just not on reading as much at the time. So that one just didn't stick around. Penance is from the same author as Confessions, which I loved, so I was excited to read Penance. This one was good. I'm gonna say It Delivered. Didn't live up to Confessions for me, but still a good time. The Last Session, this is the same author as The Writing Retreat, which again, similarly, I love The Writing Retreat. Had high hopes for The Last Session, and I just thought it was okay. And so I'll also say It Delivered. The Examiner by Janice Hallett. I love a Janice Hallett, and I enjoyed this one. I don't think I would put it... Oh, you know, I'm just now realizing because I was thinking ahead. I actually changed the top level category for this one as opposed to what I did in horror. In horror, I had a new favorite category, and I remember when I was creating this template, I was like, I don't know if you're gonna have new favorites because you didn't have a great year with mystery thriller. So I wanted to have a really good category to kind of separate like It Delivered being 3 stars, really good being like 4 and 5 stars. So I can put The Examiner up here. It's not a new favorite, but it was really good. Julie Chan is Dead. This one I gave a 3-star to. I read this early as an ARC from the publisher, and when I first started it, I felt like it had a really YA tone, but the second half I really loved. I just wasn't expecting it to be the type of story it was. Maybe if I would have known what type of story it was going to be, I would have enjoyed it more from the jump. But given the experience I had with it, I'm gonna have to say It Delivered. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. I did a reading vlog where I tried to solve this mystery this year, and I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. I would say it's really good. If you want to know if I was able to solve the mystery or not, you'll just have to check out that video. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Beanie. I gave this one a 2-star. I feel like I would just kind of say like I wouldn't really recommend it. That doesn't mean that Not For Me is a 2-star and wouldn't recommend it as a 1. Not For Me is when I feel like it's a good book, but maybe like it didn't stick around in my memory. Like it wasn't exactly, you know, the type of story I enjoy the most. Wouldn't recommend is books that like I would never in my mind be like, hey, you should read this book. And I don't think I would ever recommend Beautiful Ugly to someone. I've had really good experiences with Alice Feeney books, really not so good experience with Alice Feeney books. This one just did not like that much. Murder at Gull's Nest. This one's kind of similar. I didn't hate it. I gave it a 2, but I wouldn't really recommend it. The writing quality I thought was good. It was very atmospheric, but it was the slowest of slow burns I've ever experienced in my life. Like way too slow. Famous Last Words. I gave it 3 at the time of reading it. I feel like it kind of is maybe like not for me. It was a bit disappointing. It was not what I expected it to be. And it's an author that I've really enjoyed some books from. And this was I think my least favorite book that I've read from her so far. She has really interesting concepts, like exploring these moral and ethical dilemmas that have this like really high stakes feeling to them. But the way this book was structured just didn't work the best. Strange Pictures, I'm gonna say that one delivered. It's a very unique, interesting concept with illustrations, and the illustrations connect to the stories in interesting ways, and the way all the stories connect is interesting, and it was just pretty good. You Are Fatally Invited, this one I would say is really good. I did read that one for a book club, I remember that, and it follows writers and an isolation trope and games and riddles, and it was just a really good time. Penitence, also very, very good. I feel like I never see people talking about this one, but I really enjoyed that. I did wish it had more of a mystery angle. It kind of just tells you what happened and you're watching people's reactions to things, but it has some really good psychological explorations of characters, some like moral and ethical dilemma exploration. I read this at a very similar time as watching that show Adolescence that came out on Netflix. And I remember thinking they were a really good pairing. If you like one, you'll probably like the other. I thought that one was really good. We are on a roll because The Man Made of Smoke, also really good. That one I gave a 5-star. I really love Alex North's books. He has such a good writing style. It's so atmospheric, and his books linger in such this like creepy, eerie, dark, slightly horror tinged type of style that I really enjoy. That one is an exploration of this man who had an experience with a serial killer when he was younger, and now he's an adult and his dad's gone missing, and he thinks it might be all tying together again, and it was so good. It would make a really good limited series on Netflix, like 8 episodes. That would be beautiful. The Retirement Plan, also really love this one, gave it a 5-star. That one's a really fun, rompy type of story following a group of older women who plan to kill their husbands to try to collect their life insurance policies, but then the husbands have a plan of their own of what they've got going on. It's like cat and mouse style. It's very fun. No one was supposed to die at this wedding. This one, unfortunately not for me. I really liked the first book in the series. This is the second book in the series, and it just was not as enjoyable for me as I remember the first book being. I do plan on reading the third book. I think I have an arc of the third book, so we'll see if the series can pick back up, but that one was not a great installment for me, unfortunately. Detective Auntie, this one, I would say it delivered. I gave that one a 3-star. It's kind of your typical cozy mystery, but following the types of characters that you don't usually follow in cozy mysteries, because it's an older adult woman. She's from India, so just some representation that you don't see in cozy mysteries every day. It was well written, it had some charming characters, and it's kicking off a series. Don't Let Him In. This one I would not recommend. I'm pretty hit or miss with Lisa Jewell. This one I found to be very, 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 very boring. With Vengeance by Riley Sager, I think this one was fine, so I'm gonna say it delivered. Murder mystery on a train, historical, not the most exciting of his books, but it was okay. Kill Your Darlings, this one was not for me. It has an interesting premise in that it is told backwards through time, following a couple and going into their dark secrets and past, but it just didn't really all come together in the most satisfying way for me. The Matchmaker, this one was also not for me. The main issue I had with it is that the stakes just felt so low that I never really got invested in the mystery. I Might Be in Trouble. This one, I would say it delivered. It was pretty fun. Follows a guy who wakes up with a dead guy in his bed, and he decides to try to cover it up, and it's just really funny. He gets his literary agent involved in the cover up with him. Just something a little bit different. The Tenant, this one I would not recommend. I do have a reading log for that one. I do not think that was very good. The Turn Glass, this one I would also not recommend. I also have a reading blog for this. It's an interesting concept. It's 2 mysteries in one, and it's called a tete-bêche, something like that. I can't remember the word, where you can read the first half or the other half and you like flip the book upside down and backwards, and that's how the stories come together. Very interesting high-level concept for what the author was trying to achieve in it, not successfully executed in the way it was written. So I don't really think I would say that it's worth picking up. Night Watcher, I feel kind of between like not for me and it delivered. but I feel like I'm gonna put it in It Delivered because I did listen to that one on audio and it was just a fine experience. Like, it was a nice audio to put on. There's a podcast element to it, following a podcaster who had this interaction with a serial killer when she was younger, kind of similar to The Man Made of Smoke, and now in the present day things are going on, it might be coming back. I remember listening to this while I was driving a long drive late at night, and it was creepy and atmospheric, but it wasn't the most memorable story, and I didn't love the way the ending was all pulled off, but like, it was okay. We don't talk about Carol. I would also say It Delivered did just feel a bit more like a family drama to me, but as a book, like, it was good. Adrift, this one, I probably wouldn't really recommend. That book was just nothing like what I was expecting it to be, and it kind of let me down. It starts with a woman who wakes up on a boat in the middle of water with a note that says something about like, you don't know who you are and like, don't go pursue it, just like, good luck, try to move on in life kind of thing. And then the world building that was happening around it was just not really what I anticipated. And then like the direction that the character was making, the choices she was making, I feel like we were spending more time in places that I thought were just like a quick little scene, and then they turned out to be a big part of the book. So that one just didn't really work for me super well. The Killer Question, this one is also going to go in really good for me along with The Examiner. I just really love the way that Janice Hallett crafts these mixed media murder mysteries. I think they are so fantastic. The Ex-Girlfriend Murder Club, this one I'll say It Delivered. If you saw my recent video talking about the best underrated books, you saw me talk about that one. And you would have seen me talk about Serial Killer Support Group, which I'm kind of between It Delivered and really good. I gave it a 4-star or 3.5. There are some qualms I have with it, so I feel like I'm just gonna put it in It Delivered. That feels right to me. Both of those are good mystery thrillers. The Ex-Girlfriend Murder Club, more of a cozy mystery, similar to a John Tucker Must Die kind of concept. Serial Killer Support Group, a bit darker, following a woman who infiltrates a serial killer support group to try to find the person who murdered her sister. You Are the Detective, The Creeping Hand Murder is a novella that is a collaboration between two authors, and I would say it was okay. It was good. It was fine. Kind of has like a classic murder mystery feel to it. I don't feel like it's something you absolutely have to pick up, but I had a copy from the publisher and it was a good time. Ruth Ware, The Woman in Suite 11. This one, I will say It Delivered. This is the sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10, and I gave it a 3 or 3.5 star rating. It's hard to think about what I would think of this book independently because it is a sequel, but I thought it was fine. I generally enjoy Ruth Ware's books. I had a decent time with that one. Party of Liars, this one I'm gonna say was not for me. I had pretty high hopes for it after hearing really good things about it throughout the year, but it felt very slow paced to me and not as exciting as I wanted it to be. I'm going to go backwards with these remaining ones and do Everyone in the Group Chat Dies first, because this one I would say It Delivered. It's kind of like an I Know What You Did Last Summer retelling, and it was a fun time. And then all the rest of these, all three go in the really good category. Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man is a sequel. This is the second book in the Vera Wong series, and I really enjoyed it. Still love these characters. You're following them through a new mystery. Vera Wong's such a fun character to follow, and I really enjoyed that. The Marigold Cottages Murder Collective is definitely one of my favorite mysteries of the year. It follows a group of unlikely friends who come together in this community to try to solve a murder, and it is just so wonderful. And then The Impossible Fortune is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and as always, I just really continue to love these books. It's not necessarily a favorite within the series for me, but as always, I think these books are all really good. So that's it for all my mystery thrillers tier ranked. I have a pretty good list of recommendations here for books that I thought were good to great to amazing. Let me know if there's anything on this list that I convinced you to pick up. And if you missed my last video and you want to see more tier ranking, I did do all of my horror books from the year right before this video, so you can go check that out as well. And I do plan on continuing this end of year video series. I have several more videos still in the works, so make sure you are subscribed and you can click the bell for notifications when I post if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.